Yo, what's going on, guys? Koi here. Today we're going to be talking about teams, free-to-play teams that you could possibly use in One Punch Man world. Now, when it comes down to it, a lot of people don't have the objective or the chances at getting like high stakes SSR characters, even though I've collected most of them myself. We aren't going to be able to take limited characters and stuff like that into accountability because of the fact that it's really hard to get them, and a lot of us free to play players really want good comp teams that could really work with each other, and I'm going to talk about those today. First, we're going to dip into the mono teams, such as like, yo, this team is going to be specifically this color, this color, this color, this color, just in case for like special events and stuff like that. Then we're going to dip into some special team comps that are just really solid. And, which teams give you the best amount of worth free to play wise. And we're also going to throw in some characters in there like Metal Knight, uh, Puri Puri, and Fang, due to the fact that those guys are also free to play units, including SSR Genos. So let's go ahead and talk about those, starting with the first team. All right. So, first team I'm going to be going over is actually my team and the team that I'm using as of this moment in my gameplay. I have these guys up to merit 11. There are some of them even merit 12. Now, this free-to-play team is incredibly solid because of the fact that one, cards do matter, weapons matter, bonuses matter. So, first things first, I'm going to pretty much talk about the team comp, then dip into their cards. So, we got E Iron, who is a blue attacker. Dude's incredible. He's probably one of the best main characters in the game that could actually dish out and be incredibly skill based with a lot of rewards behind his, spam using his skills and stuff like that, spamming those parries and everything like that. Incredible character, amazing main, incredibly safe to use for almost any like style of character. Sneck. Sneck is not the main on this team as of this moment due to the fact that E Iron takes a lot more skill to use. Sneck does too. The only difference is Sneck does have a safety dodge, allowing the AI to dodge twice using his skill and ability. He's also a purple attacker, and he's actually considered a support. And we'll talk about that why in a second. So, Genos. We also have Genos, who is the raw DPS of the team. He is going to be using ranged assault, pretty much being able to dish out the most damage out of anybody consistently due to the fact that he is ranged and he does not have to worry about being up close. So at any range, this guy can, or at optimal range, this guy could do his job, and we'll talk about how he does that in a second. We have our breaker on the team, which is Triple Staff Lily. She is our green unit of the team. A multicolor team is pretty much the best team that you could possibly run in the game as of this moment. And we're going to talk about different team comps that could be replaced here and which characters would actually be able to replace the other characters. Now, Triple Staff Lily is the breaker of the team. Amazing unit. She's incredibly good. She's agile, she's fast, and she does not have any problems doing damage as a AI support. So, now whenever we dip into their SR cards, you'll start to notice that there is a theme here that you have to stick to. One of them is you have to have someone who could actually give your characters recovery. Gaining immunity to these effects, such as confusion, electric, and bleed, are super, super necessary to staying alive for most of the gameplay. That's just, one of the big things that you need to worry about. We need a healer. Every character needs to be able to get healed. You know what I mean? You need to have like a healer on the team. You need to be able to stay alive. That's a big thing about being on a lot of teams, especially if you're going to support like a team in like commissions and stuff like that. In multiplayer, people love to see a healer due to the fact that a lot of them are just running damage builds. We also have our raw damage dealer, Genos, over here, dishing out just ridiculous damage by himself at the moment. Until we get some more stars on this card, then we could help have him boost the team. But as of this moment, he's just pretty much a solo act. Then we have our Composure Breaker, who could pretty much, break use her card to pretty much grant the ability of Might, breaking the bosses and stuff like that, making sure that they don't have any shield, so we could pretty much do the maximum amount of damage. Now, that is pretty much the first team and the team that I use. So let's go ahead and dip into a team that is actually just as formidable as this team. All right. Now, this free to play team is going to have some exceptions. This is team number 2. Now, team number 2 here, replace Triple Staff Lily with Stinger, and you have yourself a team. As of this moment, I don't have Stinger. He's the only free to play character I do not have on this team in the game, technically, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. He is a red morale character, and he is also a breaker. Now, let's go ahead and talk about these guys as kits. Let's just pretend that this is Lightning Max. We have Saitama, who could either be your main, so you could dish out a lot of damage, or if you prefer, you can main either Stinger. Like, Stinger is one of those characters that also could be a great main, or you could do like Lightning Max here. Now let's go ahead and talk about their kits. For instance, we are going to be running a double damage kit in this case. Now the only difference with this one is the fact that I am actually focusing less on the healing and more on the double damage. You can replace Golden Ball or Lightning Max with a healer, so to speak, but like it's mostly due to the fact that Golden Ball is going to stay out of trouble and dish out quite a bit of consistent damage, while Lightning Max and Saitama are like being more defensive, especially Saitama, who could pretty much keep himself from dying almost all the time. Stinger is just a ridiculous composure breaker who could pretty much break any shield incredibly fast, especially with his held down M1s and skills that could continue his pretty much reign of terror. So, this team is less likely to die, so to speak, especially if you run Saitama tank as a main or just pretty much like in general. You know what I mean? Now, let's say you don't want to do this and you just want a healer. Then there are different ways that we could do this, such as just replacing him with a, I would say, Moomin Rider. Have a double morale. The only issue is you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that blue, which is the problem. So if you do that, you could do that, and then in this case, you would replace your breaker with. Uh, Where is he? Oh wait, I don't have him. Okay, never mind. So in this case, you can't really replace the breaker because there technically is not a blue SR breaker at this time. So, running this kind of team does set you back. You do have to replace him with any type of breaker in the game. If you guys don't know which ones are the breakers and which ones are the attackers and such, I do have an entire list now with breakers updated. So let's go ahead and dip into the next type of team that we're kind of aiming for next. Now we are on team number 3. This team is actually one of my more favorite teams. It pretty much has it pretty much has some of the best team comps here, such as Spring Mustachio and Golden Ball actually being able to work together for those fans of them. Also brings back E Iron. E Iron is an amazing character. So of course, E Iron's going to be the guy who brings you your immunity. We got Spring Mustachio is going to bring you that composure reduction. We got uh, we have Moomin Rider, who's going to be our healer, and then we have Golden Ball on full damage. As of this moment, like I said, I don't have those SR cards. Don't take those into account. The fact that you do need those to run these kinds of teams, due to the fact that these characters are incredibly reliant. Now, you can do some replacements here, such as let's just say you don't want to run specific characters. You can run either attack or how do you say attack or the immunity character, pretty prisoner here, and then instead you could replace E Iron with actually what do you call it? Where is he at? Oh, Genos. Okay, so we're gonna replace Genos here. We're running Genos healer, and we're running pretty prisoner immunity. Now the reason why is because you can run Genos as a breaker, and you can in some team comps. It's just that with Mustachio, you don't really have to worry about that, especially if you do something like this. Then you still have the same type of team comp, except you could really utilize Puri as a main. And let's say you don't even like that. Let's say you don't like that specific unit. Let's say you want to use over here as a healer or attack. Of course, you could either run him healer or attack. But like it's definitely a mixed up one because if once you put SSRs into the mix, then you're kind of gonna miss some stuff. So let's say uh, we're gonna be running healer here. We're gonna be running not Spring Mustachio because we don't need another purple guy. Let's run. Genos attacker. So red Genos attacker. We have purple breaker. We have purple breaker Genos over here, and then after that we could replace Golden Ball with, I would even say, Lightning Max as more attack. So you would gain healing, attack, composure reduction, that, or even, except for Lightning Max, you could still throw E-Iron on this team as well. So you could still have that good mix. The objective is to have like a decent mix of everything. And one of those things is definitely composure reduction and attack here. As you can see, you can benefit from both styles of team. And especially if you are a Silver Fang main, then this is probably your best team that you could actually run with you that could actually dish out as much as you can. So that was a little bit of a mixed up one, but let's go ahead and dip into the more mono teams. Now, this is the first mono team, mono purple. So mono purple, this is a fully free to play team. Of course, you get Genos for free. All these guys are SRs. The only difference is you're going to have a little bit of a difference in the team comp. And let's see why. So, as you can see, we do gain 2 breakers in this run. So we could run 2 breakers, we got 1 immunity, and then we also have 1 healer already. So this is a great team to run. You don't really have to worry about too much. Breakers alone are pretty much the meta of the game as of this moment, so you don't really have to worry about too much. The team is incredibly solid, especially if we get some mono events. This is the type of team to run. You have your tank, you have your attackers, you have your breakers, both breakers at that, and you could pretty much switch out for any character that you feel like you want to run due to the fact that this team has some very, very capable characters that could be mained. So that is mono purple. You probably are thinking, why not throw Metal Knight in the mix? I would say if you were going to throw Metal Knight in the mix, I would actually replace Spring Mustachio with Metal Knight in that case. So I don't have Metal Knight myself, but that's the guy you would actually replace with Metal Knight. All right, let's go ahead and move on to mono red. Now over here we do have mono red, which is pretty much the team that you're going to be running for red events if we do end up getting those types of events. So for replace Spring Mustachio with Stinger, obviously that's the composure reduction character, your breaker on the team. We have range DPS right here. We have healer right here, and then over here we have immunity. This is probably one of the best mono teams you could possibly run. Of course, with Stinger being here, obviously, like, you know, you're not going to say Spring Mustachio, but you have an amazing mix-up of amazing characters that are going to do their job just right. Whether that be Moomin Rider, just doing some ridiculous numbers and damage, to Genos also supporting that fact, including Stinger breaking the character and you being able to utilize Putty Putty Prisoner's entire kit, which is fully defensive as the main. So let's go ahead and dip into the blue category. All right, now we have the mono blue team. The only issue is there's no free to play team for mono blue as of this moment. We're even lacking a breaker in the blue category, and I think that the next character is going to be a blue breaker unit for SRs. If not, then they missed the pretty much the only time they could ever do it. But as you can see, we are running E-Iron main. We are running Lightning Max attack. We are running Snek as healer. You could replace him with any healer, really. That's totally up to you. And then we have a breaker over here as well. This is totally, like, you could totally change this out. You don't need these characters specifically. You could just change them for, like, any breaker. Let's say you want to use Lily, and then we need a healer, so let's just put Moomin Rider. Boom. You have 2 more colors. Now you have a slightly mono team, and freaking that's pretty much it. Yep, there's not much to do there besides the fact that these characters pretty much will do their job, and this is pretty much the best possible setup you could do with E-Iron leading with mono blue. Sadly, there's just not enough blue, especially free-to-play blues. So let's go ahead and move on to green. All right, so we got mono green. Mono green is probably the most blessed out of all the freaking team comps due to the fact that they have Silverfang who can run attacker, or he could run what do you call it? His SSR card and be an extra healer. But as of this moment, Smile Man's your healer. Of course, we got Golden Ball attacker. Then we got Triple Staff Lily Composure Breaker. But you could either run one of the 2 here, whether that be Silver Fang and just put Silver Fang as your bonus attacker, or have him as another healer, exactly whichever one that you actually plan on using. So, yeah, that's pretty much the mono teams. All right, now this one I'm going to call the Dream Team. So this specific characters are a multicolor characters that are going to do amazing for a team. Let's say you got Puri Prisoner, you got the SSR Genos, you got the SSR Fang. Now this is just theoretical, of course, because obviously whenever you do get the free-to-play characters, that would be you'd have a choice between, Puri Prisoner or Fang. So technically, both are interchangeable. But I would actually recommend this Dream Team due to the fact that this team can pretty much dish out some ridiculous amounts of damage and still keep the same exact team comp as every other team. So, for instance, if let's say you got super lucky and this was like the way that you wanted to do it, then we would have Puri Prisoner as immunity. We would have uh, Genos as the breaker. We would have Silverfang as the healer, and then we would have Lightning Max as the attacker. Now, Lightning Max is entirely changeable. Let's just say, like, just as a bonus, what if you wanted Zombie Man? Zombie Man attacker card does exist. So, that's just my team comps, just a little bit here and there. Now, if you want me to do a team comp of all the actual SSR characters and possible teams, let's say for the pay to win characters or like pay to play people, then just let me know down below if you guys want to see another installment of this. Drop a like, lets me know that you guys enjoy this style of video, and pretty much yeah, take it easy, dudes, and peace out.